Hey guys, Ethan at House of Fly, tying up some flies. I got a little tips and trick video today. I am tying spey flies right now as it is swing season on the Missouri. The best tip I have for tying spey flies is probably going to be a composite style dubbing loop. And so here I have my dubbing brush builder. I don't have a big wire and I don't have a drill to spin it up, so I build them per fly based off, and then I put them in a dubbing loop and spin them up. A composite dubbing loop is it's pretty simple. It's just you're gonna want to have multiple pieces that hold it all together. And so typically what I'm doing is I'm doing a substrate dubbing, whether it be semi-seal, whether it be a synthetic in that sense. Then I'm taking it on the table I made out of cardboard and I'm adding flash. Sometimes I do rubber legs. You can add really any kind of stringy material. I know Amherst works really well. I know voodoo fibers work really well. You want something that's going to be pulsating in the water, give a lot of movement. And so, yeah, what I do is I have my dubbing brush builder right here for my loops. I have it marked out ½ inch, an inch going up, and then going out I have it by inch and 2 inch, so I can get a consistency in the lengths of the materials I'm using. Today I'm going to be using a mix of Eurodub by Nature Spirit and Senyo's Dirty Bird Dub in the craw color. And I'm going to first use this Senyo's Dirty Bird Dub as my substrate dubbing to kind of hold it all together as the backbone. I like this stuff because it's really fibrous. There's a good amount of flash and a little bit of synthetic in here that's going to give it that kind of pulsating energy you want out of the fly. This isn't going to be a very long one, so I'm probably only going to do 1.5 inches of material going lengthwise for the whole loop. And then next I'm going to take some MFC fish flash. I like this stuff. It's very wispy. I'm just going to pull a couple different fibers out of there, probably like a dozen. The nice thing about this is once the fly is tied, I can always go through and trim how long I want these flashy fibers to be on my fly. Right now I'm just tying up a little spey leech with a hot head. I'm using a rabbit or a pine squirrel zonker strip down the back of it, kind of the backbone of the fly. And then I'm adding this composite loop underneath. I'm then going to take some Nature Spirit Eurodub in the living fox squirrel. I love this stuff. Underwater, it turns a nice transparency and you get a lot of those flashy fibers out from underneath it. Then I'm going to take my dubbing loop tool. I'm going to run it in my vise on my thread, make that loop, go back to where I started. Take a D-loop tweezer by Loon, and I'm going to slide it up the piece of cardboard. I have mine sectioned out in the middle so I can get that up in there, and look at that. That is perfect. So now that it's in my tweezers, I can just throw it in my loop and try and get a good angle on it here so that you can see what it looks like when it's spun up. The cool thing about these is I can squeeze them together, open that loop up, get my tool in there like so, close it, and there we go. That is pretty good. Now I can go through and kind of pick apart, get it all sectioned out how I want it. Get the right consistency across the board so we don't get any binds. And this thing just spins so well. There we go. Now I can take my dubbing pick tool and go through and pull out those trapped fibers underneath. And just like I was saying before, don't have to be too worried about how long this flash is. I'd rather have it longer than shorter because I can always go through and do a little trimming. This is a tool I'm using to brush it out as part of the Kugelmeister dubbing series. They have the clamps, they have the actual dubbing loop tool, and this I believe is the multi-tool pick. Super versatile, great for doing anything you're going to be doing any kind of loops with, or you need to texture out a fly. And then I can just take this and wrap it up. My fly here. Again, don't have to be too worried about the trapped materials because we can always take the pick tool afterwards, and I just want to get a nice good sensation going up of material. There we go. Just building a nice bulky body. Gonna grab that, tie it off. Give it a couple more reps. And so now that that is all spun up in there, I can just take my pick tool and brush out all the materials so they're nice and free flowing. And again, we're not going to worry about trimming it till the end. Now that I have it how I want it, I can take the top of the dubbing and kind of pull it down and back so it's not in the way. Take my rabbit or my squirrel zonker up there, get it right up to the head of that cone, trim it off. That's good to go. Then take another set of squirrel here. And so yeah, that's how you're going to want to be doing a composite style dubbing loop. It's really effective on those spey flies. I think the first place I saw it was on YouTube by OPST. I know they use it on a lot of their intruder styles over there on the Olympic Peninsula. I have really enjoyed integrating it into a use in a variety of flies, everything from spey to carp to trout. It's a really versatile technique because you can really throw whatever kind of material you want into it and just pick it apart to how you need to. And yeah, we're just gonna finish up this fly, get a final product on it. So now that we have our final fly all put together, that composite loop underneath really gives a nice belly on it. Just gonna kind of brush it to get it situated and see how long the fibers are and how the texture gives. I think some of these flash fibers are a little long, so we're just gonna kind of trim some of them up, get it to that desirable length. Make sure we're not cutting off that squirrel strip. And yeah, this looks pretty good. Cool. And there it is. That squirrel strip on top gives a nice contrast to the underbody underneath it. This could be a sculpin, this could be a leech. At the end of the day, this just looks fishy enough that a trout might want to eat it. And yeah, I attribute a lot of that to the composite dubbing loop because I wouldn't have been able to get all those materials in such a small quantity spun up correctly, and I think it's looking pretty good. So yeah, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments. But composite dubbing loops, probably one of the best techniques I learned in fly tying for the multiple uses you can find from every kind of fly you're ever going to tie. The little cardboard piece I was using here, I just took and measured out with a ruler, and then I covered it in tape so it doesn't deteriorate. Pretty simple at-home project. Yeah, go out, give it a try. Thanks for watching.